Obviously, you guys already heard about President Trump saying that we're going to hit them very hard tonight. Well, we already see that happening, so that's nothing new. He said we're going to hit them hard tomorrow night, which was today, and he did follow through. So one thing that we were waiting for to see if it's going to be anything above north, not just the south or anywhere else in Iran. We did see one target being hit midsection in Iran, but most of it was still in the south. It was a lot more aggressive. President Trump has been signaling that he is interested in taking Kharg Island. Um, what is his name? Um, so on Fox News, he talked about he was asked regarding his comments on in the 1980s about taking Kharg Island, and he reposted it as True Social. He basically reposted the quotes from 1980s, and Fox News they talked about it, and he didn't mention. They asked him if he's going to do it again. He's gonna like, well, it's not. I wouldn't be talking about it to you. Like it wouldn't be wise for me to share that information, but he didn't deny it. He also showed, like, he started talking about Kharg Island, showing that there's a lot of interest um, in taking the island. But he said he's not going to share more. Here's another quote from him in that interview that just happened like a couple of hours ago. He said, "Next week it gets really bad for them because next week comes the power plants. Next week comes the bridges. We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate." So this last part to me suggests that he's not going to do any of that, because the Islamic Republic always gets on the negotiation table and talk. And I think that President Trump should have said something that was more demanding than getting on the table and negotiating. Um, so that is not a very strong statement. It started very strong and then it ended up being very weak at the end of it. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate. That is a very strong statement turned into a very weak statement by saying that. I think if President Trump is trying to change behavior by these types of statements don't have the influence that they had before, because President Trump said already that he's going to destroy power plants and bridges, and he didn't do it because they got on the negotiating table. So if he doesn't do anything at this big this time, like by next week, then the message to the Islamic Republic is that, oh, okay, every time this guy threatens us, we just have to go back to the negotiating table and he's just going to stop. So, and if a lot of the enemies of United States are going to take United States less seriously, I mean, I understand, you're going to see people are going to say it's a 5D chess move. He's just messing with them. And also, I did a steel man on this. A lot of people are saying Trump always trick us out. I kind of defended Trump by saying, like, well, I mean, Khamenei is dead, so I don't think he always trick us out. I mean, Operation Midnight Hammer was a thing, so I don't think he always chickens out. But it is also true that recent threats not turning into action on the ground is signaling to the Islamic Republic that President Trump is bluffing. And it might be a way to surprise them. So here's another 5D chess move, steel manning of President Trump. It might be that because maybe they want the Islamic Republic to think that they're bluffing so that they surprise them. Here's another suggestion. But if he doesn't do anything significant by next week, then President Trump's words are not going to be taken as seriously, because this is too many times did he say he's going to do something and he didn't do it. I also understand that people are going to say that this is the art of the deal. He always says something big and then he settles for something lower. But again, this is if he keeps doing that, and people can see that he's doing that, well, it's not going to have an effect anymore. Like, and right now, because President Trump has made many threats and he hasn't followed through, the winning narrative within the Islamic Republic is that, well, apparently they can't do the things that they say they're going to do, or else they would have done something. So hopefully we're going to see something meaningful by next week, because he also provided a time. Like, he didn't say like we're going to do something. He said next week. And honestly, I hope just the Islamic Republic coming back to the negotiating table is not going to be enough for President Trump. Like if President Trump then posts like, "Oh, I'm not going to do anything because they're back at the table and they're going to give us everything." President Trump, I hope he doesn't do that, because President Trump himself has admitted now many times that these people lie, and whatever they say, you can't take them seriously. You cannot just trust what they say. Like it's, what is the point? Like if President Trump says like, "Oh, they're ready to make a deal, so I'm not going to spare them," you, in the same interview, President Trump has mentioned that they lie all the time. Like nothing that these people say is believable. So them coming out and saying, "Oh, sorry for attacking the ships, let's make a deal," if that's enough for you to hold back, then I don't know. Like then this is really bad, because the Islamic Republic could just attack ships, and then as soon as the major consequences are going to come, they'll learn like, "Oh, we just have to go tell President Trump that we could negotiate, and he will stop attack." Like President Trump had an ultimatum. He said like, "Don't attack anymore. Like open the Strait of Hormuz, or there are going to be major consequences." And then the Islamic Republic responded by, "Okay, we're going to close the Strait of Hormuz completely." That was their official response. That needs major response. That there was a clear ultimatum by the President Trump, and there was a clear violation of that ultimatum. Coming back to the negotiating table and talking should is not enough for that, for that punishment not to take place. And honestly, like I appreciate that the blockade is back. I also see that the, southern Iran is IRGC targets are being attacked like really at a much higher level compared to before, and it's constant, like it's not stopping, which is good. But still, this is not at all at the level that you would want if there's a clear ultimatum by the President of the United States of America, and that red line being crossed. This, what we're seeing right now, is not a level, is not at all enough for such a clear violation. And especially now that we have a timeline next week, if we don't see something significant being done by the Americans by next week, like something really significant, then this is going to give a huge propaganda win for the Islamic Republic, which does matter. Internally, this is going to give the regime the ability to advertise to their followers that, look, we must be winning. Why would this, what they say, yellow dog, keep telling us that he's going to do something, and every time he doesn't do it, obviously he can't, or else he would have done it. So this would be a huge narrative win for the Islamic Republic if we don't see something significant by next week. So I want to see your predictions. What do you guys think is going to happen by next week? Um, what is the 5D chess plan here that will explain all of this? Like, I don't know, 5D, 50D, I don't know. Or is this, are you disappointed or not disappointed? Do you think there's a larger plan here at play that we need to understand? But and what do you want to see by next week? So let's go through. Let me stop talking so we could hear what you guys have to say.
Monkey is first to respond. Monkey, no audio. You're muted. You didn't unmute.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. You guys want to know what is the 64D Jenga move, right? So if you want to take Kharg Island, you have to take a lot of things first. There is a lot of targets you absolutely have to take before you take Kharg Island. You have to clear a lot of launchers. You have to do so much, which is why I'm going to ask Jeff to talk about that later if he can. I'm volunteering him not. Do you accept? Do you accept this? Okay. He's saying okay. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the political side. On the political side, that's not fair. That's a beautiful dog, Danny. On the political side, I don't think the American public has the taste for this continuing. Every time he goes back to the negotiating table, the center right hates it. Like the left, they hate Trump. The woke right, they hate Israel. Right. So you're not talking to those people. You're not going to convince those people. Right. Some of them, the ones that have been strung along by these Pied Pipers, might listen, but they're not going to listen. Same thing for the far left. They're not going to listen. So the people who might vote for you are sick of this because they're looking at it from a more logical standpoint. And if these people say they're going to make a deal and they never make a deal, logically, why the hell are we talking to them? Those people get enraged every time we get baited into a fake deal. And every time they say they're going to make a deal and they don't make it public. I've made my stance clear. The administration is to say, until you say on your TV that I can go get that uranium, until you say on your state TV, you show your face and you say that you're never going to have a nuclear weapon, there's no deal. Because you come over here, you zipper dive me when we're on the phone, but then you go outside to your TV and say, I'm the strong man. I didn't zipper dive him at all. I wasn't head first in that zipper. No. I was super strong over the phone, and I don't know what he's talking about. What's that on my face for? Don't worry about that. So that's the kind of thing that I don't like. He's got to be like, you have to tell your people in public, because I'm sick of you over here. When we're over here in private, you're zipper diving me, but when you're in the public, I'm the evil guy, and you showed me my place. So that's my stance on that.
Right, thank you, Monkey. Let's go next to Noah.
So the regime always comes to the negotiating table. I mean, but the problem is it's not new. But the problem is that when there's an agreement, they never hold their end of the agreement, and there's really no point in negotiating with these people because they're savages at this point. Obviously, bombing. Obviously, President Trump said that he was going to bomb the power plants and bridges next week. I agree with you, Armin. I don't think it's going to happen. But at the same time, if it does happen and it brings the end of the regime, then so be it. I mean, the Iranian people are sick of the regime. So as for next week, as for like prediction, I personally don't see an invasion next week unless the U.S. is ready. And when they are ready, I think they will take most of the Persian Gulf islands, including Kharg.
All right, thank you, Noah. Next on the list, I have Shauna.
So I want to look at this from a different angle. I can't look at it from a military angle because I don't have that training. But what's happening next week that we are not talking about is the U.S. Well, I always get the. Let me flip back to my notes because I always get this mixed up. The USMCA, I think it's the trade agreement with North American trade agreement between the US, Canada, and Mexico. That is being renegotiated or officially ended and renegotiated next week. And the reason why it was halted on July 1st is because both Canada and Mexico have still been supplying and aiding Chinese companies through backdoor loopholes. Now, I have no idea what the direct impact of this could be, but I do want to put that out there, that is something that's very important that is happening next week. So that's just, like I said, I have no idea if there's a direct contact, but it is a problem that we're running into in our war with China. They are basically using their shell companies to just go into our friendly shores and install things, and it's been it's one of the challenges that we're dealing with. So even though we're ratcheting up on many things and we're doing a great job, that whole deal specifically with Canada and Mexico, it could be a factor. So I'm just throwing that out there as a possibility.
Next, R.R. Halda.
Hi, Al. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was just going to report I watched Tusi just a little bit ago, and right towards the end, he reported that Ghalibaf did contact the U.S. and asked to come to the table again, as we expected. And that's it. That's all I have to report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jeffrey.
Yeah, so what this very much looks like, again, or aligns with, is shaping operations, right? So if you take a look at what are the key things that have been done. So President Trump's administration just recently notified Congress of a new War Powers Act. We are targeting and degrading enemy capabilities all throughout the strait. What are they targeting? They're degrading anti-shipping and coastal threats, key radar sites, fortified positions, anti-aircraft stuff, mosquito fleet stuff. I mean, we're just taking out all the things that they could use to threaten stuff. So as far as, and you had these repeated waves doing this in the past couple of waves, including last night. So we've been hitting greater, Tanudai to, I always fuck this up, to Tenbub. How do you say it? TUNB. How do you say that in Persian?
Oh, Tombe Kuchik, Tombe Buzurg.
Oh my God. Just give me the first one. Right? Jesus. Okay. Tunbud? Okay.
Tom.
Bandar Abbas, Abu Musa. I mean, we're taking out all these different targets. Wow. Note to self, never ask Carbon that again. All right, so we're enforcing
Yeah,
the
make it easy.
blockade.
Little Tom, Big Tom.
Big Tum. So that's I need. Big, yeah, Greater Tum. Thanks. If you, I didn't know. Thank you. So Greater and Little Tum Islands. We're hitting all the different islands. We're enforcing the blockade. We're engaging in attrition with vis-a-vis the mass strikes, and we're engaging intelligence and dynamic intelligence, which means if they're moving stuff, we're going to be following it and killing you. The psychological and economic pressure is going up. All of this points to a prep for escalation. As far as like mass ground invasion, I don't see that happening. Like inside Iran, they definitely will. I definitely see it prepping, hopefully, for massive air campaign to kill the mullah regime and the repressive elements inside the regime. That's actually catching traction both in the public and within the administration. Meaning, we're just going to kill all the rest of these assholes and give people a good shot at taking back, and liberating their country. That's where it kind of sees what would I like to see. I would very much like to see them implement the expanded 5x5 campaign and completely obliterate the fucking mullah regime remnants till there's nothing left, including their leadership down to the lieutenant level, all their conventional military, every radar, every HQ for the IRGC and besiege, and absolutely obliterate the rest of the regime and its repressive elements so that Iranians are no longer punished and this is brought to a rapid close. As far as taking Kharg Island, some of the things that you would need to do, you're probably looking at, let me take a look. Give me 1 second because I don't have to look up Hormuz's hammer, right? So Hormuz, where's Kharg? This is a little bit a while ago before we, engaged all this. Where's Kharg Island in my Hormuz? Give me come back to me. Give me a minute. Let me find it. And I'll tell you kind of roughly the kind of number of targets pre-Operation Epic Fury that would be envisioned to prep Kharg Island itself to be taken, so that U.S. Marine Expeditionary Forces could then liberate Kharg Island.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.